Make some noise for Shannon! Alright, are you guys ready for the final topic of the show? Doesn't sound like it. Does not sound like it. Are you ready for the final topic? Guys, he won New England's Funniest in 2024. Make some noise for Avery Quinn!
Gonna get this out of the way right away. I know Avery Quinn sounds like a hot girl name. Like some of your older gentlemen, if you were like flipping through a Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition, and you saw the name Avery Quinn, you'd be like, well, I want to see what she looks like. And how much would that suck? You just turn the page and it's just me like, oh. Everyone pay a ticket, everyone gets a look. Sir, don't look away, sir. Here. As you guys discovered there, I'm fat. Yes. Which is tough for me because eating's my biggest vice, you know? I don't do drugs, I don't drink or anything like that. So it's tough for me, you know? Because if I get famous enough that I get famous enough to have my own Netflix documentary, it'll be boring. You know? So all the cool edgy ones are always like, he just got out of rehab, he was doing his best stuff. And then drugs and alcohol came back into his life, and it was all over. But mine would be like, he just got off of Weight Watchers, he was doing his best stuff. And then Endless Shrimp came back at Red Lobster. It's all over. I'm not that fat though, I'm not that fat. I'm a very specific type of fat. I like to call it middle seat fat, you know? Well, I'm a normal guy most of the time, so I have to sit in the middle seat of any situation, you know? Planes, trains, movie theaters, it doesn't matter. So I'm a normal guy until I get the ticket that says 2B. Then I get to my seat and the people in 2A and 2C look like they're about to die in a horror movie. And then I'm standing there, I'm like, do you want to play a game? My thighs are sweaty, try not to touch them, you know? I don't know. I actually lost about 60 pounds. That's totally true. That's totally true. Yeah. And the thing I learned about that was at my heaviest. I learned your body's like a car. You know what I mean? Like if you don't run it, you don't take care of it, and you don't put the right fuel in it, what happens to the car? That's right. It doesn't have sex for 3 years. That's true. Yeah. I don't know if anyone else feels this way. I feel like I should be more attractive, you know? I should be more handsome. Like I feel like God gave me all the parts to be handsome, but the proportions are off. Like I'm 6'3", that's an attractive height. But it's not attractive with a foot and a half of his head, you know what I mean? That's a little much, you know? Being a bigger guy, I played football in high school, but then I did musical theater later in life, and I should have known that I like theater more, you know? Because when I go to Bloxville and when I played football in high school, I just gave them jazz hands. I went out there, I was like, huh! My dad was like, he's a killer. My mom was like, he's fabulous. You two college football coaches doing okay? They were looking around the whole time and they're like, I think we can find a D1 recruit around here. It's Connecticut, sir. No one plays football here. That's, anyway, yeah. I don't know, I do love football though. Does anyone else here like football? You got football fans? Yeah. It's tough because I like football, but also autumn is my favorite season, you know? I like it, I like the climate. But I can never say autumn's my favorite season. So whenever I do, there's always one guy who's like, yeah, you like fall because football's starting, right? You like fall because football. And then I get insecure as a man, I'm like, oh yeah, dude, also the leaves are changing in soup season, yeah! You know? I don't know. I wasn't a good athlete myself, though. I wasn't a very good athlete. The only sport I was good at in high school, I was good wrestling. It's a very good wrestling. I liked it, but it doesn't help me now. So I play a lot of pickup basketball and football games now, and I suck. And someone will bring it up, and I can't be like, oh yeah? You want to go there and wrestle? You're lucky to know my singlet on. You know what? Try to hold me down. I'm an athlete. Mister. You folks have seen a lot of me in a short time. They were like, what's the action zone? Well, you're gonna find out. Anyway, yeah. I wasn't a big fan of school in general, though. I especially hated math class, because they had word problems. Do you guys remember word problems? Yeah, word problems were marketed to us like, these are the problems that'll help you in real life. And then you read the problem, it's like, if you cut a pie 5 times, how many slices do you get? That doesn't help me, you know? Like, a word problem that helps me in real life is like, so your buddy failed his drug test and he lost his job. You lent him money. How long do you ask for it back? Solve for X. Realistic word problem, you know? I took language in school. Anyone wants to take a language here? Anyone take a language in school? Does anyone remember any of it? Yeah, that's the American school system. Hell yeah, all right. I do comedy all over New England. Typically, there's always like one drunk white lady in the crowd. She's like, I remember. And I'm like, all right, what was it? She just spits out a Taco Bell order. I'm like, very diverse, thank you. Great. Pushing us ahead. I actually took 8th grade German. I took German in 8th grade because I wanted to waste my time, you know? The only thing I remember from 8th grade German class was at Christmas time, they taught us German Christmas carols. And then after we learned the German Christmas carols, they took us to a local retirement home to sing the German Christmas carols. I don't know if any of you remember who was in retirement homes about 15 years ago. What generation? What World War fighting generation was in retirement homes? At the time, I thought that was a nice thing we were doing for those people. Looking back, that was the meanest thing that we could have done. Can you imagine the calls your children must have gotten? Be like, no, Dad, the Germans aren't singing outside your window. And me and my 12-year-old friends are out there like, no, take off the roof, you know? Yeah. It's not even a Christmas carol, it's just the only German song. I'm right. Yeah. I don't know. This is weird. I hate smart kids. Don't you guys hate smart kids? I was talking to my friend's son the other day. He's going to college. He was like, well, Avery, I have Yale as a reach school and Fairfield University as a safety school. What was your safety school? And I was like, Cumberland Farms? I don't know. That's where I was. A little bit about me, I'm not originally from Connecticut. I'm originally from central Pennsylvania. And I like Connecticut. You guys are all right. You guys are a little uptight though, you know that, right? Because every night I go out and I do this, and I always get asked the same 3 questions. Like, where are you from? Have you been drinking? Do you know fashion? And I'm like, guys, it's fine. Wow, all right. Yeah, so I don't know. I do like Connecticut. Connecticut's got a lot of great things about it. Like, you guys have some of the best small towns, some of the best coastline. Some of the best seafood in the country is right here in Connecticut. Most people clap when you compliment their state. Now you guys know. You guys are like, he's right, but we hate ourselves, so no. How about no? I'll tell you the one thing Connecticut has worse than anywhere else, gas stations. And I'm right. Have you guys ever been below New York? You go below New York, you go to a gas station. You can get fried chicken, subs, burgers, all made to order, all 24/7. And at a Connecticut gas station, you can get stabs. So there's that, yeah. I travel a lot for comedy and stuff, and recently I was in the Pittsburgh airport just doing like a little flight. And in the terminal, these 2 guys were talking, and one guy was like, oh, so where are you from? The guy goes, oh, I'm from Hartford. Where are you from? He goes, I'm from West Hartford. Small world. No, it wasn't. The plane was going to Hartford. Everyone there had the same goal. Now, some of you might be from New York and you go, well, Avery, maybe one of them was vacationing in Hartford. And most of you, no one vacations in Hartford. There's no couple in Michigan being like, you know, honey, I think I know where I want to go this year. Let's go to a minor league hockey game and get robbed, you know? The reason that me and my wife moved to Connecticut was actually because we both work in the sports industry. Like my wife, for her day job, she works for ESPN. That's pretty cool, right? Give it up for women in sports. Come on, for real. And I work at Dick's Sporting Goods. Give it up, come on.
Yeah!
Got a real Dick's fan out there, all right. I could do that. I could do cheap jokes for the rest of it. I got love Dick's, all right.
Go for it!
All right. Well, I work at the Hartford Dick's, so it's a big one. Anyway, all right. Guys, come on. Is that why we're at New York Comedy Club? No. Anyway, no, I like Dick's. It's not too bad. The corporate speaks a little much. Like the other day, I went over to the manager and I'm like, hey, this customer, and he stops me and goes, hey, in here, we call everyone an athlete. I'm like, right. Well, that athlete's mobility scooter died in footwear. It's gonna take 7 people to move that athlete. It shows training videos at Dick's, which is weird because the training videos are clearly meant for a better job. Like the training video started, a guy would come on screen, he's like, Tom and Lisa just closed a big account. But you know Mark is taking all the credit. What do you do in this situation? No one at Dick's is closing a big account. What the video should be is that same guy comes on screen, he's like, Tom and Lisa are smoking weed on a ladder. But you need to stock the top shelf. What do you do in this situation? I just see, join in. We have to do the sexual harassment training at Dick's. That's a little more universal. Anyone else do the sexual harassment training at their works? Yeah. All right, not all claps. Got the construction workers in the crowd. That's okay, you're building roads. You don't need to know how to properly treat your coworkers. You're building roads. Yeah, I had to do mine. I'm pretty good at them, actually. Yeah. Like recently, I had to do one, and I got through the 3 hours. It was supposed to be a 3-hour program, 1 hour. That's not bad. That's how I clicked through it as fast as you can possibly. Yeah. But then at the end of this particular one, they sent me an e-certificate that I had to give my boss that had how long it took and how long I spent on it. So I was like, can't let that stand. I went through it, did it the right way, spent almost 4 hours on it. But then when they got the e-certificate again, they just added that time onto the time I already did. So now it looks like I did 5 hours for a 3-hour sexual harassment program. I'm seeing a few blank faces. That's much worse. That's much, much worse. Because now it looks like I needed that information. Like I'm the most backwards guy in the world being like, wait, I'm not allowed to call her what? No, I'm saying she looks good today. Well, when did I smell her hair? You know? Yeah, I don't know. My wife's a fantastic person. Actually, interesting about her, she's a twin. I actually saw the other twin over the holidays when I went to her parents' house, and I saw what I thought was my wife standing in the living room alone. So I went to be romantic, went up behind her, put my hands on her hips, gave her a little kiss on the neck. Wasn't her, yeah. It's not my fault that her dad has sort of soft neck. I don't know. Me and my wife, we've been married about a year, and being married a year, I learned you get in arguments for all kinds of reasons, even ones you wouldn't expect. Like recently, my wife, she got permanent jewelry, forever bracelets. Does anyone know what that is? Yeah, for those of you that don't, allow me to explain what it is. It's a bracelet that they tighten to your wrist, then they solder it together so you can never take it off. When she told me she got that, I was like, that seems kind of dumb, bit dangerous, bit of a waste of money. But then I thought about it, like 3 of my friends have forever bracelets. I mean, it took them 2 DUIs to get them, but they have forever bracelets, you know what I mean? All right, that drunk driving joke went a little bit better, that's okay, yeah, all right. You guys are fun, this is cool. I don't know. It is tough though with my wife and stuff. Like I had to do an uncomfortable thing recently. I had to borrow her car. And it's not a big deal. Like we have the same type of car. The only problem is like her license plate says "So Asian" on it. Oh, like my wife is Asian. She's not like a weird. She actually, yeah, and that part makes sense. But I don't know if you guys ever been in that position, where you have a whole stereotype on your shoulders while you're driving. I I was doing everything right. Perfect speed limit, all the turn signals, doing every traffic law perfectly. Because if I didn't, I made the world a little more racist. Do you understand? That gets to you. That eats at your soul, you know what I mean? By the end of that week, I was sitting there, I remember I was at a bar and this one guy was just like, man, Asian people, they just can't drive. And I was like, hey, we're doing our best, you know? He's like, you're not Asian. I'm like, you're right, I'm not. I'm so Asian. I don't know. Me and my wife wanted to add a little more responsibility into our lives, so we wanted to get a dog. But we were having disagreements about kind of what kind of dog we wanted to get, you know what I mean? Like, she grew up with a big dog, and I grew up with a small dog. And I like the small dog because I can hold it, it can sit in my lap, I can cuddle. But she said a big dog would be great for protection. We used a big dog for protection. So we did a compromise. We got a medium-sized dog, and we gave him a gun, so that was helpful. Yeah, I got a poodle and block. I don't know. Me and my wife, I'm a silly guy. I don't know if you guys have figured that out yet. I'm a silly guy. I enjoy being silly. It suits me. It's not appropriate all the time, you know? Bedroom, that's the wrong time to be silly, you know? So I went on and did some self-improvement. I went on Esquire.com, and it said, women want an animal in bed. You gotta be loud, you gotta be an animal in bed. So I tried to take that advice to heart, you know what I mean? That night, me and my wife were getting intimate. Then I thought about the article, yeah, okay, I can do this. So I closed my eyes, and the next thing I said, there was a... Then I stole her french fries and flew away. I don't know, that's a dumb joke. Also, guys, thank you so much for coming out on behalf of me and all the other comics. Give a round of applause to the other comics who saw me tonight. This is big for me, you know? Because like my parents, they never believed in my dream. They called it stupid, a waste of time, and a waste of money. Oh, stand-up isn't my dream, by the way. Yeah, I want to go whale watching in every state. You didn't think you could get dumber than the seagull joke, did you? Yeah. I don't know. Actually, it is weird though. I'm a dumb guy. I'm a really dumb guy. And it's interesting, my family, there's an interesting trend. I'm the youngest of 3 boys. And we all get bigger and dumber as we get younger. Like my oldest brother, he's 5'5", and he's a doctor. That's pretty short, but that's a very impressive job, you know? And my middle brother, he's 6 foot. He's a chiropractor. Good job, good height. And I'm 6'3", and I lived out of high school with a D average. My parents said they wanted 5 kids. Thank God they stopped with me, you know? Could you imagine? There's like, this is our 5th son, Bud Quinn. He's 7 foot, he can lift a semi-truck, but if you ask him to read, he'll get mad. I do love my family. It's interesting. I'm glad the holidays are over. You know what I mean? That's the extended family can be tough sometimes. Like I was at Thanksgiving, I was talking to my uncle, and I was just like, hey, you know, this comedy thing's really working out, man. You know, who knows? I could be successful. And he's like, the sky is the limit. I was like, yeah. Also, you know, I feel like once I become successful, I'd love to like try acting, do movies or something like that. And he was like, the earth is flat. And I was like, we're having 2 different conversations. I love my family. There is one thing my family's a little backwards on, a little not with the times, and that's tattoos. Like my grandparents, they just told me in their generation you got tattooed for 3 reasons. You were a firefighter, you were a sailor, or you were in the military. In my generation, we get a tattoo if we have a free afternoon, you know what I mean? I do like watching those 2 generations meet though. Just older guys like, see this tattoo right here? Marines, Vietnam, 64 to 68. And then my generation's like, oh yeah? Marching band, Northwest High, 2012 to 2015. Woodwinds. My mom hates tattoos though, man. She hates tattoos. And she always told me growing up, if I ever got a tattoo, she would drag me to a doctor's office and demand they laser remove it on the spot. That's why I want to get a tattoo that says, my mom supports St. Jude's Children's Hospital. I gotta get out of here, but real quick, I do just want to say, like, family is interesting, but especially being married 1 year, the most interesting part of the family is in-laws. You know what I mean? Because you're your family, but you're still getting to know them, you know? Like, are you two married here? No. Great, all right, that's, you guys are very comfortable together. You look like you could be married. That's awesome, all right. But, yeah, it's interesting. Just totally blew up my last show. It's fine, we'll move on. Person here. Like, oh, you both have in-laws, all right. With other people. We're witnessing it there, guys. Oh, how magical. Oh, budding love and heartbreak. That's fun. Yeah, I was talking to around New Year's, my father-in-law, he texted me. He goes, hey, Happy New Year's. Welcome to the family. We couldn't be happier to have you. I love you. And I was emotional because he never texted I love you before, so I had to handle it the right way. So I texted back, thank you so much. I couldn't feel more welcome. Happy New Year's. And I went to put I love you too, but it auto-corrected to more. And then before I could edit it, he just gave it that old man yellow thumbs up. I was like, all right, that's what we're dealing with. And I went, hey, meant to put 2 LOL. And then he liked that too. So now it just looks like I'm flirting with my father-in-law. I was like, all right, well, let's see where it goes, you know? Send him a shirtless pic, you guys remember? Yeah. My wife sees it, she's like, who is that? I was like, sweetie, he does have a soft neck. Thank you guys, I'm Avery Quinn.